Rita and I'm making a card today for the Creators Blog Hop, and this week, or this month, it's a colour theme and we have been given spring colours. So the colours are Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Highland Heather, Daffodil Delight and Basic Grey. We don't have to use all of these, we only need to use 3. But I'm going to try and use them all, and I'm going to be making a card. So I've started with Smoky Slate. Actually, Basic Grey wasn't the colour, it was the granite, grey granite is it? And I don't have that, so I'm just substituting with what I do have. So I've just made my base, and I've used a Smoky Slate Grey, and it's just a normal size card. It's a piece of A4 card stock cut in half and then folded in half down the middle. And I've also got a piece of Whisper White that is cut just a smidgen smaller, which is going to go inside for our message. And then on the front, I've done exactly the same, another piece of Whisper White, but I've actually used my subtle folder. I don't know if you can even see it on video. So I've used this embossing folder, and I've run my Whisper White through there already, just to give it a little bit of a subtle texture to it. And some of the other things I've already cut out ready. So these are the dies that I'm using, and this is from the Large Alphabet, I think it's called. Let me have a look. Large Letters. This is the large letter framelits, and I'm using A because I'm doing a card for a friend who's called Amy. So whatever initial you want to use you want to make your card for, so I've gone for A. And then these are from the Well Written framelits, and I've cut all of these out in Whisper White, but I've also, before I've cut them out, I've done a little bit of colouring, which I'm going to show you, as well as on my A. Okay, so I have a small piece of Whisper White, which I know my large letter is going to fit into, and using the Dragonfly Dream stamp set, I am just inking up my little decorative stamp there, stamping off and then stamping down the bottom of my piece of paper there. And I've used the Mango Melody for this, and then I'm going to get my letter, and I just want it to go there. So we're going to get some of the stamped image at the bottom of the letter only, and I'm just going to run that through my Big Shot. Okay, so I have that, I've cut that out now, and I've also cut out exactly the same with Smoky Slate, and I'm just going to use this as a bit of shadow on the back of my letter. So I'm just putting a bit of Tombow on there, and then I'm going to put my letter just so there's a little bit over on the left hand side. So it just looks like there's a little bit of shadow there. And then I'm going to put some mini dimensionals on the back of that. So with the other piece of my Whisper White, which I am going to put some multi-purpose adhesive on the backing of that, and I'm going to be cutting out this beautiful floral die from the Well Written framelits, and I'm just going to decorate the background. I'm going to be using my Highland Heather, my Daffodil Delight and my Granny Apple Green. I'm just going to show you the Highland Heather, what I actually did, and this was from the Artisan Textures. I'm using that stamp there. Again, I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp off, and then just randomly stamp over, and then I'm going to place that on there, and then just run that through the Big Shot and cut that out. And that, although it's mainly still white, it just gives you a little bit of colour, as I want this card to be quite subtle. So I'm going to start putting my card together here. So I've got my little twirly floral pieces here, and I also have my bird, my little white bird. So I've cut these all out in Whisper White. I've got my 2 butterflies, and they've all been cut out with self-adhesive backing, multi-purpose self-adhesive backing, and then I've got some of these little flowers that are all subtly coloured here in the spring summer colours that have been chosen for us. And I have my A here, and I'm just going to arrange them on to the middle of my card. Okay, so I've actually stuck all of my pieces down as those all sticky back. That's made it very simple. My A and my little bird, I've popped those both up with some mini dimensionals, and there I decided it needs a little bit more of something, and I've pulled in some of these little sequins, and I can't remember what they're called, but if you go to my blog post you will find them there. And I'm just going to randomly stick a few of these because these are all sticky backed, which is great, in the background to give it a little bit more bling. And it's got these pretty flower ones as well. And actually, just while you're watching, hopefully you're still watching, these little tiny flowers that come with the Well Written, they actually fit onto here, so you could put different coloured flowers on top of those, stick them on top, so that would look really cool as well. So because I was using lots of different colours, I've kept them all very subtle, and I wanted to use all of the colours, but I didn't want them to be in your face for this particular card. So I'm going to stick this now to the front of my card base. It's just going to go on like that. And then I'm going to do a little bit of stamping for the inside of the card. I'm going to put a sentiment and a little bit more decoration, I think. Okay, and there's the front of the card. Let's pull this in and do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to pull this in, and I need something to just protect my little mat there. Okay, so I'm bringing in this one that I used earlier on the bottom of my letters, and I'm going to use the basic grey for this. And I'm just going to go all the way along the bottom. I think I'm going to stamp off. So I'm just going along the bottom of my card there. Brilliant. And then, using the same stamp set, I'm going to be using the Enjoy Your Special Day sentiment, if I can find it. Here it is. And I'm going to use the Highland Heather, just so it all ties in with the front. And I've got that upside down, so that's probably not a good idea. And then I'm just going to stamp that in the middle. And then that is going to go into the middle of this. And there we go. And there is my card finished. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to hop along with all the other ladies on the Creators Blog Hop, and don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Bye.